to the High Beach. This is Hayes Arcade, your hardcore casual fan. Today is one of my favorite days of the year because it is Royal Rumble Day. I already gave my predictions of who I think is going to win this year's women's and men's Royal Rumble. But let's talk about the past. Not only talk about the past, but let's talk about the best Royal Rumble winners of all time. I'm going to give my top 10, and I promise you, you ain't going to like it, but you're going to learn to love it because it's the best thing going today. Woo! At number 10, I have Vincent Kennedy McMahon. I know what you're thinking. Oh, you suck. Boo, boo. First of all, do I look like New Day? Do I look like Dom Mysterio? Relax. There's a reason behind why I have Vince McMahon number 10. Can we not agree Vince and Stone Cold is one of, if not the greatest story of all time? Can we not agree the match that they would have at St. Valentine's Day Massacre is one of the most entertaining matches of all time? Well, how did we get there, brother? We get there by Vince McMahon, who absolutely hates Stone Cold, getting into the Royal Rumble, preventing Stone Cold from winning the Rumble. And I think it was a great way to put a roadblock in front of Stone Cold. Even though the match itself of the entire Rumble is trash, the winner being Vince McMahon, in my opinion, is a chef's kiss. And if you don't agree with that, you're fired. Number 9, we have Batista. They did such a great job with Batista, building the tension between him and Triple H. They built so much great tension between him and Triple H that you wanted to see Batista win the Rumble so that he could face Triple H to finally dethrone the Reign of Terror, which was the King of Kings, the game, Triple H. So Batista winning the Rumble was the absolute right call, and it was a great Royal Rumble where Vince McMahon tore both his quads. Somehow, Cena and Batista has, in my opinion, probably the greatest spot of all time at the Rumble, where they both landed on the floor at the same time through the luck of the wrestling gods. I don't know how they did it, but yeah, Batista winning the Rumble in 2005 was the right call, and it helped make a brand new star, an eventual face of the company, when he went on to WrestleMania 21 to defeat Triple H. Number 8, rest in peace, The Undertaker. Number 8, The Undertaker from the 2007 Royal Rumble. The Undertaker is one of my all-time favorites, especially during this time to where I felt like The Undertaker just kept fighting all these random wrestlers, characters, big guys like Khali or Mark Henry, and I was just waiting for a time to where Taker can actually win a world title, which by this time he has not won since 2002. So we're talking about a 5-year journey of him finally getting back to the world title, and it started here in the Royal Rumble 2007, and I would dare to say the greatest last 5 minutes in Royal Rumble history when Undertaker and Shawn Michaels had their little mini match, which will be a preview of what we will see 2 years later at WrestleMania 25. Number 7, Drew McIntyre. 2020 Men's Royal Rumble. Now, I'm not going to lie, I was not watching the product around this time from from 2014 to 2020. I was a very much casual viewer. So watching the 2020 Royal Rumble was a shock to me because 1, I didn't know Drew was that over. 2, I didn't know that they were going to book Drew to be the guy, not until he eliminated Brock Lesnar, to where I thought, holy moly donut shop. Are they pushing Drew McIntyre? The guy that was there a decade earlier who was made to be the guy by Vince McMahon himself, only to turn out not to be ready? What a great comeback story of Drew McIntyre leaving WWE, making his own name on the indies in TNA, coming back, and now eventually over time being ready to main event with the crowd organically being behind him. him eliminating Roman definitely had the whole crowd, and me in particular, be very, very happy. Number 6, Randall Keith Orton, the 2009 Royal Rumble. So, Randy Orton in 2009 was someone completely different than what you know him now. Randy Orton now is, the good time unk. He's what we call unk, right? He's just a good time. He's not trying to get in the way of nothing. He's being very chill, right? 2009, Randy Orton was a menace. 2009, Randy Orton was an absolute menace. He just created the faction of the Legacy, and Randy Orton was on a mission not only to win the Royal Rumble, but completely be a terror to the McMahon family. As just the previous Monday night, he punted Vince McMahon in the head. If that doesn't make you one of the greatest of all time, I don't know what is. Now let's do the top 5. At number 5, we have Booyaka 619. Hey, Booyaka, Rey Mysterio. Rey Mysterio winning the 2006 Royal Rumble still gives me butterfly style. Now, part of me does kind of feel the way that they they exploited Eddie Guerrero's death in order to create that storyline for Rey to win. But even in that, if you strip that away, Rey Mysterio deserved that moment. Rey Mysterio deserved to have his time in the limelight, under the spotlights, and win the Royal Rumble to prove it doesn't matter what you look like, where you come from, underdogs can win. A genuine, just great person. Like, it was just great to see a great person who was so beloved, so over. Say what you want about all the hoopla surrounding it, but it was, if you strip everything away, it was a great moment during the time, and it's still a great moment now looking back on it, that Rey Mysterio won the 2006 Royal Rumble. Number 4, we have Cody Rhodes winning the 2024 Royal Rumble. The only man, one of 4 men to win back-to-back Royal Rumbles, following the legacy of Hulk Hogan, Shawn Michaels, and Stone Cold Steve Austin, putting him in rare air as Cody Rhodes was trying to finally finish the story, and he had to do it first by winning the Rumble. But what makes his Royal Rumble win more special is that he got the crowd to boo The Rock when The Rock tried to come in and take his spot. There's only a couple of people that I think could have did that, and Cody was one of them, because people genuinely loved and was invested in Cody's story of winning the world title at WrestleMania and defeating Roman Reigns, and not even The Rock could stop that. So Cody Rhodes winning the 2024 Men's Royal Rumble and being one of 4 men to win back-to-back and make history, for sure has to put him in the top spots of one of the greatest Royal Rumble winners of all time. At number 3, I have to put good old Stone Cold Steve Austin. Now, you have your pick of which Rumbles to choose from, but in my opinion, I have to go with the greatest Royal Rumble of all time, in my opinion, in 2001, where Stone Cold, on his comeback after being gone a year, wins the Rumble to go on to WrestleMania in Texas to face The Rock at WrestleMania for the title. Again, the 2001 Royal Rumble is the greatest Rumble of all time. I'm not going to debate this with anybody. That is just a fact of life. Yeah! But what made it more special is Stone Cold has so many stories, from him and Triple H, to him and Rikishi, him and the stare down between The Rock, to him eventually having to take down Kane, who had the most eliminations in Royal Rumble history at the time. Like, all these little intricate things. And Stone Cold, again, on the road to completing his story of coming back after his neck injury in 2000, coming back to win the Royal Rumble. Everybody wanted it. Everybody was happy for it. And there was no better deserving person than Stone Cold in 2001. Now we have our top 2. top 2 Royal Rumble winners of all time. At 2, we have the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels, who's considered one of the greatest in-ring, if not the greatest in-ring performers of all time. Him winning the 1995 Royal Rumble, in my opinion, is one of the best wins of all time, because 1995 Royal Rumble is one of the worst Rumbles of all time. So, with that being said, Shawn Michaels stuck out like a sore thumb because he was the highlight of that entire Rumble. He was the guy in there, made sure that anytime a guy came into the Rumble or entered the Rumble, that he would face him first to bump around, make him look good, and eventually eliminate him. Shawn Michaels coming in at number 1, the first ever person to come in at number 1 and win the Rumble. And we all know he has the most infamous spot of all time in Royal Rumble history, with his one leg swinging while the other leg is on the floor, not being eliminated, catching British Bulldog off guard and winning the Rumble. And this is where Shawn Michaels starts to ascend as a true main eventer and eventual face of the company, and it all starts at the Royal Rumble 1995. And last but not least, we have the number 1 greatest Royal Rumble winner of all time. I think if through process of elimination, I think you can figure out who it is. It has to be, well, what many people consider the greatest wrestler of all time, and woo, daddy, the Nature Boy, Ric Flair. The Nature Boy, Ric Flair, who will go into Royal Rumble 1992 at number 3, last over an hour, face some of the all-time greats in wrestling history, from Jake the Snake to Macho Man to Hulk Hogan to Sid Vicious. Have, in my opinion, the greatest performance within the Rumble. Go on to last over an hour and win the title. Only one of 2 Rumbles to actually have that caveat. And Ric Flair was the very first one to win the world title at a Royal Rumble with a tear in his eye. And that, my friends, is what I feel and think is the top 10 Royal Rumble winners of all time. You give me yours below, as the Royal Rumble is tonight in just a few hours. Can't wait for it. Can't wait to give my reactions or my review. But with that being said, welcome to the High Beast. This is Hayes Arcade, your hardcore casual fan. Like, comment, subscribe, share all the things. And if you're not down with that, I got 2 words for you. Suck it.